You're watching MMA Oddsbreaker. I'm Frank Trigg. That, of course, is Pat Healy getting ready to fight Jorge Masvidal coming up here on UFC on Fox 11, April 19th. First, how's it been? Don't give me a standard answer how training camp is. We all know it's the best training camp of your life. We all know you're in the best shape of your life. Really, how is training camp? You're not a new kid. Like everyone knows you get banged up, you get frustrated, there's times where you don't want to be at practice. There's times you can't wait for practice. Like, what's it like right now? And how was this training camp compared to other ones?
To be honest, man, I feel like I got my passion back. I was doing a lot of different stuff leading up to my last couple fights, doing a lot more conditioning than I've ever done, and I don't really like doing that stuff, man. And I feel like it kind of drained me out, and I wasn't looking forward to practice. So I really wanted to get back to what I love and what I do well in this sport. So I was doing a lot of wrestling. I was doing a lot of grappling. I was still working on my boxing and kickboxing, but I certainly want my wrestling to be a big part of this fight.
So, when you say cardio, before your other fights, were you just out there just running and doing stairs and sprint work? Is that what you're talking about? Your cardio?
Yeah, a lot of treadmill work, lifting, high rep, high pace type lifting stuff. And I don't know, I felt like it kind of just burnt me out. I was so tired every day that when I'd go to train the skill work that I was just exhausted and didn't get anything out of it.
There's a thing now that I'm doing with a lot of the younger athletes. I'm here in Vegas. I'm making them switch. Where instead of having that sparring session, that hard sparring session at night, I'm making them spar early in the day. I know the philosophy is if you spar at night, it's closer to actual fight time. Well, my belief has always been your body will figure out what it needs to figure out as you go through the paces of warming up and being backstage and hearing Watson tell you, it's time to roll, baby, like, get all that stuff going. Your body knows it's time to go compete. Time doesn't make a difference. But it's the one thing I always worried about is the most important portion of your practice of your day is that hard spar. So you do that first thing in the morning when you're fresh, then you're running and you're conditioning and your mitt work and all that stuff that doesn't have to be as on point, can be taxed a little bit and can be a little bit off because it's not as important as someone punching you in the face and getting that timing down. It sounds like you had the same problem, that you were doing so much cardio in the morning, when it came at night to do your hard work, you couldn't do it because you were fried. Are you using your wrestling now as your cardio and your mitt work as your cardio to keep that heart rate up and keep your system going?
Yeah, and kind of just like you said, I mean, I'm still doing cardio and stuff, but I'm doing it at night instead of first thing in the morning. And, I think you know your way around the fight game a little bit. And, I think that can totally happen. Like, you get so focused on, I need to be in great shape. Well, a lot of the training we do, the sparring, the wrestling, the grappling, I mean, you're going to get in great shape doing that regardless, And I think conditioning sometimes just needs to be a little extra add-on instead of being the main focus.
Yeah, and it's tough because people go, well, I have strength and conditioning 3 days a week, which is nice when you're not in training camp. But when you're in training camp, you shouldn't be trying to get stronger. And I know guys at home are going to say, and a lot of people listening to this are going to be like, what the hell is Trigg talking about? You don't need to actually get in better shape because I don't need to run faster or have a better gait or run up a hill quicker. I need to be able to go from this point to that point with my fists out and hit you 7 times and get out of the way before you can do that. I can't do that by running stairs and stuff. I can only do that by sparring and mitt work and having my coach move me around. And also, when you say wrestling, are you back into a legitimate, real wrestling, grinding kind of practice kind of situation where you got a guy pulling on your arms, the guy's pulling on your head, he's trying to take you down, and when he's taking you down, he's trying to hold you there and embarrass you in front of everybody. Are you back to that kind of wrestling practice?
Yep, straight up, regular, old school wrestling. I mean, and, it's funny because, like, we've been wrestling, like, 6-minute matches in groups where you do, you're a group of 4 and you do 3 guys straight, you're in the center, and then, kind of rotate like that. And there's something about that, like, 6 minutes, man, that, you almost, like, dread that more than a 15-minute, 20-minute, 25-minute sparring because it's just a different pace. And like you said, that pulling, that pushing, that all that stuff it's really taxing, It forces you into a different pace. I think about wrestling. Like, you can't be as laid back. You can't you don't have those moments to rest like, you know, you sometimes do in a fight.
Yeah, in sparring, you have a lot of time to rest. There's a lot of spacing and kind of, I'll dance on the outside for a little bit. I'll lean arm against the cage for a second and get a breath. In a wrestling practice, there is no break. And I think that's the reason why Johnny Hendricks looked so good against George St. Pierre the first time and then looked so good coming against Robbie Lawler is because he went back to Oklahoma State and said, I'm going to wrestle. And he just went to wrestling practice and got beat up by guys that are in college that are national champions and trying to be national champions and they're kicking the crap out of them. Like they want to get their bones. There's something about being in that kind of wrestling practice. Johnny said he could skip his running. He pulled running out. He still lifted, but not as much, and pulled his cardio sessions out because he was in wrestling practice. Do you find yourself being able to do that as well? Like sometimes you can go like, I don't need the cardio today because I just did 2 6-minute matches. I'm exhausted already. Like if I do any more cardio, it's going to be worse than getting me better.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, sometimes it's just overkill, and there's just, you know, you can't really describe it unless you wrestle. I mean, obviously, you know a thing or two about that, and you know, wrestling, it's just a different. I don't know. I don't really know how to put it into words, but you just got to wrestle 1 6-minute match, and you go, oh, okay, this is. I feel it.
And I can say this in full confidence. In my prime, you can put me with a pro boxer. I'm not going to win, but I'm not going to get knocked out either. I knew enough footwork. I knew how to keep my hands up. I knew how to maintain the position and the pace. If you put me in a Muay Thai match in my prime, I'd be okay. I could survive it. Wouldn't like it, probably wouldn't win, but I could pull it off against the best guys I'm talking about. Put me in a wrestling match against a lower level Division II All-American that's been wrestling every day and he's in the middle of his season and I'm in my prime, I'd get tacked. I'd pretty much get my butt kicked. I couldn't maintain that kind of pace because I wasn't in wrestling practice and that constant grind. There's always something about wrestling that puts you in a better shape no matter what you do. That 1 6-minute match changes your life forever. Like you especially in the middle of an MMA training session. It's like I was saying, like, dude, this is just horrible. Like I can't handle this anymore.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And you know, I don't know what it is. I mean, maybe it's the, you know, something about somebody pulling on your head and you having to fight it up and that stuff. It just like zaps you like that, you know.
And you get out of there and you're like, I can't lift my arms up anymore. It's like he's been pulling on your wrists and pulling on your elbows, and then forget about your head. The whole rest of the day you walk around like this because you can't get your neck back up. It's just like, oh yeah, it's great. Yeah, no, honey, I'm fine. Really, you're laying on the couch the whole time because your neck is jacked up. Yeah. I remember those days, and I actually go back every now and again, and I never do 6 minutes because my body can't maintain it. I go in and do like a 2-minute go with Cal Griffin. I do a 2-minute go with Drysdale, and kind of like, I'm like, dude, this sucks. Like, this is just horrible. I can't wait to find a way to get on the bottom. I'll jump guard just to find a way to break. You know, I'm that guy now. I'm old, and I just try to find a break. That's all I'm doing. Enough love for wrestling. Let's go on to let's talk about Masvidal. You've watched tape on him. You've seen him. What do you think he's going to try to do to you? Because he's watching tape on you too. He knows how you fought your last 3 fights. He's seen what you've done. He knows what you're going to do. What do you think he's going to try to do? How is he going to change up a little bit when he comes in to fight you?
I think he's going to try to fight me a lot like Bobby Green did in my last fight. Move away, try to counter, try to get me to be the aggressor and counter me and, you know, try to stalemate my wrestling that way defensively and stuff like that.
Before the Jim Miller fight, which ended up being a no contest, you were on a really good win streak and running through some serious competition. You know, you beat up Beerbaum, you know, beat up Maxim Blanco. Hirota was a great fight with you guys. That was back in Strikeforce. It was back in 2012. But you were running through this gamut, and then all of a sudden, the Miller fight, no contest, and then loss. But you never really seemed to mentally get down on yourself, at least publicly. I don't know what happened at home. I don't know what went on at the house. But publicly, you never really got down on yourself. You're kind of like, hey, it's just how it goes. Let me get going. I'll figure out a way to kind of come back from it. You seem now, at least, a little more focused. Like you said, you have a passion back again. Was there something that kind of went on besides the training and the cardio? Was there something else that went on that kind of brought back the passion again after the Bobby Green fight?
I don't really know what it was, to be honest. Like, I felt confident in my last 2 fights going in, but deep down I knew something was missing. You know, I think I started to focus so much on, like, money. You know, I hate to say it, but, like, I got, whoa, man, you know, it's great to make this money. Like, I need this money. Like, yeah. And it took my focus away because, man, I love this sport. I love training. I love fighting. Like, when you stay focused on something that's, you know, is obviously a plus, it's great to get paid, but, it shouldn't. I don't think money should be the main thing that drives you. I mean, millions of people who are miserable who make tons of money. You got to find that deeper passion, and man, I've always loved wrestling. Maybe getting back into wrestling was a key factor into that. Bringing my passion back, but I certainly feel like I got it back, and I'm excited again. I'm looking forward to training. I'm looking forward to the fight. It's just, that's all I can really say is I got my passion back,
Now, I want to take a step back to what you said about Masvidal. He was going to fight you like Bobby Green did, was going to stand outside and kind of run from you a little bit. You already had that experience. You lost the decision to Bobby. You know now how to counteract it. Will it be easier to catch George, or do you think it's going to be harder because he's going to stick to that game plan and keep running no matter what you do to him?
I think I learned a lot from the Bobby Green fight. I mean, sometimes my aggression can be my worst enemy. I gotta channel that aggression, not just attack wildly all the time. Find my spots, be a little more conservative, but when I do attack, then use that aggression.
Right.
Don't just wildly attack every exchange. I don't have to be the guy pushing forward, initiating everything. But when those opportunities do come up, then I can use my aggression.
Well, Pat, thanks for coming out here with me on MMA Oddsbreaker. I appreciate it. You got to give big props to Amanda because she was on me this morning. Are you up? You ready? Computer's on. You ready to go? He's got a short time. He's busy. I'm like, okay, relax. I got it. But she does it. She does a great job for you guys, and you should be proud to have her in the corner because she does. She really works her ass off for you. And then it's been great to finally get to speak with you and figure out kind of, because I wanted to find out what happened after Bobby Green, like what happened a little bit, because I heard that your passion was back from some other folks. I heard that you kind of were in practice, and everyone gives you that great training camp. It's the best of my life. I'm in the whole thing, but you never really gave me that. You're just like, no, look, my passion's back. Like I started wrestling again, and I don't know what it is, but here I am. And that's really what you want to see. That you really want to see that in an athlete that you like following. As a fan, I follow you. As a fan, I like watching you fight. So for me, it's great to see that your passion's back. Because now I get to see, okay, what's going to happen with Masvidal coming up on April 19th.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you having me on. And, I got to tell you, like, one of my favorite memories was when I fought Chris Lytle back in the WEC. And it was kind of like my first big fight. And you were in the announcing booth. And you said a lot of positive things about me. And I've always appreciated that. And, like, as a guy coming up, like, in your first big show, like to hear somebody who's as accomplished as you, it was it's always been like a really cool thing that I've always thought very highly of.
The one thing I've always done when I commentate is tell the truth, and I had good things to say about you because you were doing good things. If you were screwing up, I would have said you were screwing up. Like I don't need to mix it. So you were good. I was saying good things about you because you were good. It had nothing to do with me. I was just talking about what I saw in front of me. And that's when I became a fan of yours. It was like, wow, this guy, he's really got some serious potential. This kid really knows how to fight. Let me kind of check him out and see what happens within his career. So I just kind of follow. There's a couple of guys, like maybe 10 guys total that I've commentated on and kind of watched grow from like little kids like into men, in the sport. And I'm like, oh, this is kind of neat to watch them. It also means that I'm old as hell. And I'm watching these guys grow up now. It's like, oh, look at my grandkids. Look how good they are. My grandkids. So it's amazing. So yeah, no, it's always been great to watch you fight. And honestly, when I call your fights, I'm saying good things about you because you are doing good things, and it's all about you. Like it has nothing to do with me, and let's be honest, I was really surprised. I didn't know much about you. So I saw you fight live, and I was like, wow, I'm kind of taken aback. He's got speed, he's quick, he's moving around, he actually knows what he's doing. Let's see how this kid does later in the future.
Well, it was cool, man. Appreciate it, and I definitely appreciate you having me on the show.
Thanks, no worries, bud. Good luck, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, thanks, Frank.